is the song that's going to be playing as we touch down in the United States of America next year for the Soccer World Cup as Bafana have qualified.
Delivered in, and it's the third goal, and it is party time. The evidence is there before you. Magopa heads South Africa towards the FIFA World Cup. Now the party can start.
Yes.
And they finally earned their place.
South Africa, we qualified with nobody's help.
Nobody's help, said Gaten McKenzie.
The sports
Nobody's
minister.
help.
Do yourself a favor later. Look up the visuals. It was hilarious. The man didn't know if he wanted to jump or run.
Can I tell you, I agree with you because as he was talking, I really felt like he was going to jump out of the TV and into my lounge. I was like, have we dished up for the minister? He's going to be coming for dinner any moment now because this is how excited he is.
But, I mean, look, and I'm not even a sport person, right? But I knew this was big because I was knocking off. I just finished a shift at the SABC, went to fill up, and the petrol attendants were having the best shift.
Of course. Oh, guys, we've not qualified since 2002. 2010, we were there because we were hosting.
Yeah, we were hosting.
And then after that, think about it, from 2010 until 2025, there's been what? 3 World Cups that we've missed out on?
I heard one of our junior journalists here, Mwande, this morning on our sister station 702 say, for the first time in my broadcasting career, I can say, Bafana
There's literally some kid in high school today who's never watched Bafana at a World Cup and will get to do so next year.
Yeah,
Because
it's wild.
That's 15
Guys,
years.
my child.
There we go.
My child has never, ever experienced Bafana in a World Cup.
Oh, it's going to be big.
And now it's finally happening. But get typical South Africans. As soon as we qualified, we're going to win.
No,
Because you have nothing if not hope.
Remember that one goal, the opening goal in 2010, Spio Shabalala, when he scored it. As he scored it, we didn't celebrate the opening goal. We celebrated the World Cup. We said, we are going to win the World Cup.
It's ours.
Because, guys, it's like a salary negotiation. You ask for more than you will get because that spirit keeps you in the room.
There was a commentator on SuperSport last night after the win who said, bring Argentina. Bring them now.
Argentina.
No. Cindy, this man was doing the social media report. I don't know what his name is. He was doing the social media in this order. He said, bring Argentina, bring Portugal, bring Spain.
Holy wow.
We're going to win that.
Someone tagged Argentina and said, start dusting off the trophy. We're coming to collect it.
They're like, Messi who? I was like,
Messi who?
Because I'm good for us like throwing comments at Donald Trump to be like, hey.
Yeah, give us visas.
Be careful, you might not make it if you lot keep this up.
Because that's going to be our next hurdle.
When the celebration dies down, and we're quiet, maybe next week, Wednesday, we're going to look at each other and be like, hey.
How are we going to get visas?
Who's got a visa here?
Anele and The Club on 947.
Okay, the celebrations are going to have to calm down a bit here. We are, after all, at work. We are, after all, professionals. This is George Ezra on 947 with Shotgun, taking you up to 6:18. A very good morning if you are joining us on this Bafana qualifying for the World Cup morning.
Yes. Well done. Well done, lads.
We as a country are going to be unbearable. Please bear with us.
When does it start? It's in December next year, correct?
June.
Oh, sorry, I overshot that.
But we'll be there.
We'll be there. And much like the Mexicans, we're not leaving.
Wow.
Come back.
We can go visit our farmers.
Listen.
All 50 of them, they can have a welcome sign.
Exactly. Do you remember back in high school when you used to have an exchange and then you'd go to another school, another province to play rugby, soccer, cricket or netball.
Correct.
Or hockey. And then there'd be a host family.
Yes.
We were thinking our head, our 49 families that we sent over there to America, they are going to be the host families as we land in America, okay, to support Bafan.
Look, brings the cost down once you have accommodation.
You know what I'm saying? Flights are sorted. I can get us flights. We've got accommodation. All you need now is your Bafana jersey and you're done.
We should ask them, like, when you travel overseas and then your family says, please bring, and then they have a list, we should ask them what they want us to bring.
Mrs. Paul's chutney.
Thai mango.
It's always Mrs. Paul's chutney. Speaking of traveling, the one thing you used to have to do when you were traveling for school was to sign an indemnity form.
I looked at that thing a few times as a kid, wondering
Why?
What is my mom signing here?
Your life away.
Yes,
basically.
it did feel like it.
So let's bring it home. With the extravagant or the different or the creative or the activity driven birthday parties that we're hosting as parents, would you take your child to a party if the host parents asked you to sign an indemnity?
Are they asking you to sign it? Is the party at their house? Let's start there.
At their house, it could be at Bounce, it could be at Northgate Ninja. Who's those guys?
Let's say it's at your house, because generally when you go to Bounds and all of those places, you have to sign an indemnity anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So,
okay.
so to be out of the norm, it would have to be like, so you're having a party at your house and maybe there's going to be a slip and slide, and you want as the host parent to not be held responsible for if anybody injures themselves on your property.
Is this still a hypothetical situation?
Yeah. No, hypothetically.
Totally hypothetically speaking.
Totally hypothetically.
Okay, got you.
There are
Oh,
no 17-year-olds going down a slip and slide in this scenario at all.
None whatsoever. Okay. Happy birthday, Sienna. 011-8838-947. Your child gets invited to a birthday party at their friend's house.
Mm-hmm.
The friend's parents, before the party, ask you to please sign an indemnity. How are you feeling about that?
Whew.
Accidents happen, eh? There's jumping castles.
That's the thing.
So now my little Jimmy was at your party. I dropped and went, and then the next thing I got a phone call. He's broken his arm. What happens?
Ooh. I don't have children, so I'm in two minds.
I would sign it purely because I feel that if your child's invited to a party and they're with a certain age, you stay with them anyway. You stay and that's how people become friends with their kids' friends' parents,
Yeah.
right? Because you stay there to look after your own child. Once they're 16 years old, guys, they were gonna sprain their ankle at school anyway.
So have we, again, people who are experienced with kiddies parties, has there ever been a situation where, let's say, your kid goes to a party, gets injured, and you try to hold the hosts liable?
Yes, on the regular.
Really?
Friendships have broken up.
Even when you're there, supposed to be watching your own kid.
Even they're like, okay, fine, then you must go Harvey's on the
Medical.
on the medicals. It's happened because forget jumping castle, forget slip and slide, forget maybe getting bitten by a little chameleon that the man with the animals brought. Just even a child running into a sliding door. Do you know what I'm saying?
It can be bad.
I have had friends whose friendship have ended because they insisted that you have to go Harvey's on us because our child broke their nose. And the other family was like, no, your child ran into a sliding door.
I'd have serious questions if you said to me, sign an indemnity for my child about what the party is, because if you are preempting by saying here's an indemnity
For 5-year-old.
for 5-year-olds or 10-year-olds, like how big is the
How
jumping
wild
castle?
is this?
How tall is the slide?
What kind of 6-year-old birthday party is this?
Yeah.
08400000947 if you're sending us a voice note. Call us 011-8838-947. I know this is like a baptism by fire. You're like, Anele, we just woke up. We just woke up and you ask us indemnity forms. Here's the thing. Your child's invited to a birthday party. It's at that birthday party's person's house. And then you're asked to sign an indemnity form. How are you feeling about it?
Connect with Anele and The Club.
So here's the case. If you've just joined us, good morning. It's Wednesday morning. We are all here. Frankie, say you here?
Good morning.
Thembekile?
Mura!
Hey, there was a pause there. I was just like...
Kalogam, as someone who's recently qualified for the World Cup,
Oh,
I'm
you.
seized with all manner of comms.
Cindy is also here. Good morning, Cindy.
Good morning.
And what we want to know from you right now, think about it. Don't be rational about it. Be a parent about it. And if we know if there's one person who's irrational, it is people with children. Your child gets invited to a party, ne? Great, your RSVP, we're coming. 2 or 3 days before the party, another communication. It's an indemnity form. You ask yourself, but wait, hang on, man. This party's at their house. What's happening over there that needs an indemnity form? Do you sign the indemnity form?
I would sign it purely because I would be so impressed that these parents have time to draft and put this thing together and still send it to me before the party.
I heard actually that if you have a swimming pool and they drown in your swimming pool, then it's your responsibility. You will be held responsible for that kid drowning due to measures not being put up.
wild.
Yes. So I think just generally, if you have a swimming pool, even if it's a swim party, have a lifeguard. Have somebody who's placed there
In the pool permanently.
whose job is just to look at the pool.
Yeah.
Don't be like, no, there'll be parents, we'll watch the pool ourselves, because what, is there a roster? Is there a schedule? Do you know what I'm saying?
So
And
the
if you know,
accidents happen very quickly.
and if you know your child can't swim, don't leave them at a house where there's a swimming pool. By them, you must stay there and look after your child.
Yeah.
But sir, you are right. If anything happens, it's your responsibility.
liable, eh?
It's at
Wow.
your house, and maybe that's why we've entered the age of indemnity forms for birthday parties. Let's go to Kensington. Good morning, Simone.
Morning, how are you?
We're great. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
So, are you signing the indemnity form or not?
Yes, I'm signing it.
Why?
So I'm actually a mom and a teacher.
Oh.
So I see the indemnity forms more often than other people. And it's more about it's not just a safety thing, but it's about information as well. So your child goes to the party and the mom is baking a cake with peanuts in it, and she needs to know if your child is allergic. So, and also my daughter is 4 and my son is 2. So even if I sign the indemnity form, her invite is always a +1. If I'm invited or not, I will be there. Because you can't expect a mom to take care of 10 4-year-olds by
Yes.
herself.
Yeah.
That's also a problem.
And Simone, I also feel if you are willing to take your kid to a party, full stop, right? You should be.
You're incurring the risk anyway.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So you should be willing to sign an indemnity if you're willing to take your kid to someone else's house for a party, regardless of their age.
But guys,
Yes, exactly. I don't have a direct indemnity form for my parties, but I expect all the parents, even if I don't know the parents, there must be at least one adult joining for the party, because I can't take care of 12 4-year-olds by myself.
but you're a teacher, so you can.
No, but 14-year-olds, 14 and 4 is different.
Yeah.
It's a different story. It's a different story. But guys, think about it now. Every time you've had to sign an indemnity form, you do go, Even here at work, there's sometimes when we're going somewhere. Remember when we went to Sun City?
Yes.
And they said sign indemnity forms, and I said, why?
Oh, we needed one for Sun City.
They knew.
We needed one.
They knew.
Every time, guys, it doesn't matter. Like, even if you're on holiday and you're like, oh, we're going to go jet skiing, or we're going to go there, and then, mind you, when I went river rafting in Costa Rica and we
Yes.
almost died. We
Vida
started,
Pura.
Viva. Pura vida, my friends. Pura vida, my friends. We had to sign indemnity form. And as I was signing, I was like,
I don't participate in anything that requires an indemnity form. Really? Have you not noticed on any of our trips, I've never done anything that requires me waiving
Your
the right
rights.
to protection. Oh, no, ma'am. What you trying to do? What's going to happen? Why am I jumping? I don't have wings. I shouldn't be jumping from anything.
Except yesterday, this time, we were none the wiser that in the next 5 minutes, we'd make a family 20,000 rands richer. It could happen with you. It's the Suzuki 20,000 Rand Pop Quiz. You enter on primemediaplus.com. You know, you can be like, no, I never win anything. This family as well, hey? They didn't come in being winners, and they left with 20,000 Rand. Take a chance on yourself.
Go to primemediaplus.com. You can register as many times as you want, by the way. As many. Just keep going until you make it to the Suzuki 20,000 Rand Pop Quiz.
May the odds forever be in your favor. Listen, if you just joined us, are you a parent? Are you a parent who takes your kids to other kids' parties? Let's say your child gets invited to a party, the invite comes, you RSVP, we're good. Then more communication comes, and the parents who are hosting the birthday party at their house would like you to sign an indemnity form. What are you thinking?
I would be very, very skeptical, because why are you making me sign an indemnity form? Why?
100% I would sign it. Also, I have a 9-year-old and we went to a swimming pool party this weekend and I didn't know the parents and I stayed the entire 5 hours because I didn't know if there were going to be parents watching the pool. So I sat next to the pool and I watched them.
I'm definitely signing the indemnity form, because if the kids are going to an excursion with the school to the zoo, for example, we sign the indemnity form. It doesn't mean they're going to be now eaten by the lions.
I'll be okay with it if it's like new friends. But if it's friends that have been together, it's parents that I know, I don't see the reason for that.
But that's the thing, guys. Friendships can change, and they change because of things like this. Because let's say something does happen to your child and you feel that they should pay half the hospital bills. Doesn't matter how long you guys have known each other. friendships can change.
Yeah.
And then indemnity form, it's like a prenup.
Yeah.
Indemnity forms are prenups that protect friendships.
I would, like I say, I'm very suspicious of this because immediately my first mind goes to, something I don't know. You know that your outdoor tiles are not outdoor tiles, they are smooth tiles. And the kids are going to go through the pool and they're going to slip on the tiles. You know it's coming.
Don't joke. We have a slippery rug in our entrance hall.
Yes.
2 people have slipped there. I said to Baza, we better start making people sign an indemnity form or we're going to catch a lawsuit.
But that's the thing. So you know
You know your house.
So maybe it's not about the jumping castle, which is the first thing I think, but maybe it is about, that 10-year-olds running around on these tiles after they've been in the pool, someone's going to fall.
Mutlatsi, good morning. You say, hell no.
Hell no, Anele. There's no way.
Why?
Indemnity for what? Have we disintegrated into a society that requires indemnities now?
Yes.
Parents must be responsible. No, I refuse. I've got a 10-year-old. I just told him now on a school drop off, you're not going to a party that's requiring indemnity. End of story.
And he walked and said, thanks for nothing, Auntie Anele.
Yeah, exactly. Although he agrees with me, interestingly. No, we just need to be responsible and sensible. I wouldn't expect parents who bring their child to me expecting me to pay half their bills because they had an accident at our house or vice versa. No. Accidents happen, and if they happen, we take care of it.
Mutlatsi?
As long as there's no negligence.
Aha, now there we go.
Yeah, negligence.
This is what the indemnity form is protecting you against because your negligence and my negligence are different. And you sound like a sensible man. You sound like a measured man. You and I could be friends. We could be family friends. Our kids could play together. You have a 10-year-old, I have a 10-year-old. But Mutlatsi, the thing is, common sense is not so common. So for instance, me, if something happens to someone at my house, I want to...
You feel responsible.
Yes, I feel responsible. Like, you know what? I'll handle this. I'll do that. I'm going to pay because that's me. Other people are not like that.
Yeah.
Simple. I'm not signing no indemnity. I'm telling you, my child's not going there. End of story.
My favorite part of the conversation, Mutlatsi, is that your son woke up this morning not knowing he had this problem.
And
when he dropped him off his school, he went, I have another problem now. I didn't know I had this problem. Now I have to think about this thing.
So true, Frankie. So true.
Now I have to pick my friends properly.
Yeah.
Also, I don't want to debate with Mutlatsi too much. He's got too much bass in his voice.
No,
people with bass in their voice. No, Anele. Plain and simple. You must be sensible and reasonable. Hey. Celine, good morning. Welcome to Anele and The Club.
Good morning. How are you?
We are so good, ready to give you 20,000 Rand as long as you're ready to grab it from us by answering 10 questions correctly. Who is your support team?
I have a massive support team on my side. I've got my brother-in-law, Jason, my sister-in-law, Chantal, my mother-in-law, Dina, my father-in-law, Mike, and then my niece, Chanel.
I can tell you right now, Chantal is a good time.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Cheers.
Yeah, Chantal, you my girl. You are my person.
I love you, Nene.
Love you too, Chantal. Love you more. Okay, guys, I'm going to love you even more when we gather together and win Celine this 20,000 Rand. Are we ready?
Yes.
Glen Vista's in the house. We're going in 3, 2, 1. Good luck.
Katlego, my boy, hosts which game show on SABC 1?
Soccer?
True or false? The Suzuki Franx features a head-up display in the GLX variant.
True.
Yes.
Tony DeZorzi is associated with which sport?
Soccer?
Spell the word dilate.
Pass?
Which South African has been appointed as a reporter for BBC Africa Eye?
Claire Moisa.
Yes.
Edleen and Nimrod Park are both located in which province?
Pass?
Name the brother who is not part of the Jonas Brothers band.
Pass?
Who is the executive mayor of Cape Town?
Cape Town. Pass?
According to AXA stats, which was the most on-time airline in September?
Fly Safari.
Yes.
Who did Bafana play yesterday to qualify for the World Cup?
Rwanda.
Yes.
Katlego, my boy, hosts which game show on SABC 1?
Pass.
Tony DeZorzi is associated with which sport?
Basketball.
Basketball.
Cricket.
Cricket.
It's cricket. Yo, Mike. Mike.
Mike.
Yeah, how they?
I heard you laughing, bruh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I literally heard you laughing. And
As the old one in the family, I've got to sort of create the humor.
yeah, no, dude, I heard it. Because when you started laughing, we all started sniggering here in studio, looking at each other.
Yeah, but Mike started laughing because he knew this was not going to go to Twitter.
I can't be that honest.
Okay, but we can. My honesty has to tell you guys that you guys got 4 out of 10, guys. 4 out of 10. Let's... 4 out of 10. Also, Celine, your support team were not supporting because they should have Googled all of these. Katlego, my boy, host which game for... Say that again?
We did, but we just slow.
Slow.
Oh, too slow. Oh. Katlego, my boy, hosts which game show in SABC 1? Deal or No Deal? Tony Dezorzi is associated with which sport? It's cricket. Spell the word dilate, D-I-L-A-T-E. Edlian and Nimrod Park are both located in which province? Gauteng. Named a brother who's not part of the Jonas Brothers band. His name is Frankie, who is the executive mayor of Cape Town. Gordon Hill Lewis. And yeah, that's 4 out of 10, which means you get 800 rands in cash. It's something. It's something. You see, every day is different here on the show. One day, 20,000. Next day,
800.
800.
That's it from the 20,000 Rand pop quiz with Suzuki. Go to primemediaplus.com to enter. Suzuki turns everything into a fun adventure.
MW DeVet Primary in Edenville. Your number 1 song is Boss.
It's a classic.
Wow.
It's going to get everyone moving.
Oh my word. How dare you guys make Auntie Anele so happy so early in the morning? This is what they did. They messaged us on our WhatsApp line 08400000947. They said my school top 5 and then they took over. And man, oh man.
Oh, they're taking over today.
Did they take over?
My school top 5.
And I am not standing in the middle around this. You oaks need to start telling your elderly to stop driving.
Your parents and grandparents.
It is your responsibility. I know for a fact that somewhere right now, there is a person who is dreading having the conversation with their mother or their father or their grandmother or your great aunt or someone who you need to tell, Nana, you can't drive anymore. Please park the car, give me your car keys. We'll make a plan. We'll get you a driver. You have to take Ubers. We'll drive you around. But you cannot drive anymore. Guys, you have to have the conversation. Stop being scared.
I opened the door recently with my mom. Had to, because this is what happened, right? So my mom turned 75 on Monday.
Wow.
Right? She turned
Happy
75
birthday,
on Monday.
Danielle Marie.
And about 6-7 months ago, I phoned her one day just to check in. How's it going? She lives in Cape Town. And she said, no, she's in Stillbay with my uncle and them.
She said probably
Yeah,
Stillbay. Thank
Stillbay
you.
with my uncle and them. I said, oh, brilliant. Did my aunt go with? Because usually they drive together. She said, no, I clocked the journey on my own. That's 4.5 hours from Cape Town.
So basically, it's like driving from Johannesburg to Bloemfontein in a bit.
That's the journey, right?
Yeah.
By herself.
Except it's not just one highway, because it's like these little roads that you have to take. It's not just highway.
So
right?
she's following a GPS. She's driving.
No, she knows how to get there because she's gone there tons of times. But so I say, now I'm a little bit in shock. So I'm like, because that's not supposed to be happening. You're 75. You shouldn't be driving 4.5 hours on your own. I said, how was the journey? She said, exhausting. I nearly fell asleep once.
What?
I'm losing my mind.
Yeah, guys, no.
I speak to my uncle. My uncle says, your mom arrived here. She was finished. I said, oh, my gosh.
So how are you going to broach the topic?
No, and then I started saying to Mom, we got to start talking about maybe
responsible driving.
The driving. Oh,
Maybe you can
World
say
War
to
III.
Oh,
no, it was World War III.
Really?
Yeah.
I really thought this conversation was left only for parents and teenagers and kids in their early 20s.
No, dude. I promise you're going to get to a point in your life where you have to tell your parents you have to stop driving. And I think, Frankie, with her, you start by saying, please don't drive long distance. And because for now, I mean, she can go from her house to the shop. It's like a 2-kilometer drive.
Yeah.
But soon enough, even that 2-kilometer drive is going to be, bruh.
Well, that's the rule now. I said to her, you can't be driving 4.5 hours. And I've just said, please, that's got to stop.
I know of a granny who's like, she was in her late 80s, coming on to 90, and her family was like, you need to stop driving. And she's like, no, it's my car. I will drive my car. They were like, lady, you can't practically see out of your one eye. So they got her like a helper who could also drive, right? To
Oh.
assist. So firstly, she was very irritated that she needed help.
Okay.
And then they caught her the one day, one of her daughters caught her at the shops. She was driving and the helper was casually in the passenger seat, just
Guys,
sipping on a coffee.
there's no bigger cartel than elderly people and their helpers. They will connive and scheme. But Merle, I've seen you guys on the highway. Hey, where you go?
No.
You're moving at 60, ma'am.
No,
and someone's going
guys.
to crash into you.
Guys, we laugh. Okay, here's the thing here about Anele and the Club. We laugh and it's a joke, but this is serious. Have you had the conversation with your mom or your dad or your grandpa or your grandma where you asked them, were you broaching the topic, you're just suggesting it, where you just like, you have to stop driving? How did it go? If there's someone who is listening right now who's had to do that, please call in, because there are many people who are listening.
Yeah.
This is something that they're going to have in the next 2 years. This is a conversation that they're going to have.
And the thing is, we all spend our time on the road. And you drive behind an old Tanny and you
Yeah.
go, this Tanny should not be on the road.
Exactly.
Their family haven't had the conversation.
They scared. 011-8838-947. You know you hear things. I gave birth to all of you. How dare you? 011-8838-947. Send us a voice note, 084-0000-947. How did you do it? What tips do you have? Like, because it's a give and take. Like, what did you say in order to get them to agree to it?
Yeah.
When should we do it? Should it be a Sunday? Do we do it before church? Do we get the pastor to come and do the talk with you? Like, what did you bribe them with? Help!
And you just know, it's maybe time because you've seen your mother drive or your dad drive and you go, whoa, this is dangerous.
You've been in the backseat whilst they were driving, just like, oh, okay, God, is this how I say goodbye?
And elderly drivers have two settings: super slow, so
Yeah.
not moving, or super fast.
Yeah.
They are a hazard to society. 011-8838-947. And if you're an elderly person and you're like, I'm 78, I'm the best driver around, also you can call us. Convince us otherwise. Convince us why we shouldn't be taking our parents' licenses away.
The number is 011
Stop it.
883.
Your mother will smack you, Frankie.
She will.
She
I'm
will
sure.
literally.
Catch him
We're
first.
sending her this clip.
Connect with Anele and the Club.
If you've just joined us, a lot of people triggered by the conversation we're having today because they know full well that sooner or later they are going to have this conversation. How do you tell your parents, your grandparents, the elderly people in your family that they are no longer fit to drive? Guys, it's a safety thing. We have to do it.
And there's a moment you realize, you should be actually driving, letting your parents drive, because usually we all drive and then our parents drive with us. So let them drive sometimes so you can check.
Yes.
You must check.
Yes.
You must check there.
Especially if you visit from overseas. Don't just be like, oh, it's fine, Mom, I'll catch an Uber. Say, oh, Mom, okay, you fetch me.
Yeah.
Because you actually need to see.
I didn't think about that.
Guys, my grandma is 82. She still drives around. Had 2 hip replacements, driving while she's still in recovery. I'm scared to tell her that she needs to stop.
So my grandmother just turned 77 and she just bought a brand new car, 7-seater, manual. She always complains about her legs. She's got arthritis. I just feel like, no, you need to rest. You need to take it easy. But she said she prefers manual.
Morning, Sarah here from Sunning Hill. You guys have hit such a hot topic for me. This is something that absolutely drives me insane. I worked as a paramedic for many years of my life, and so many avoidable accidents were caused by elderly drivers.
Because if we're going to clamp down on drunk drivers, as we should, then I really think we should clamp down on elderly drivers. The problem is you just don't know at which age. Because on the other end, it's strict. It's 18. You're 18 or you're not driving. But on the other end, it could be 77. It could be 92. It could be 80.
So should there be maybe, let's say, if we agree on 70, should there be a mandatory test
Yes.
at that point?
Because you also have to have your eyes tested at that mandatory test.
Carrie, good morning. You in Rotherport?
Yes, how are you, Anele and The Club?
We so good, Carrie. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Talk to us, babe.
Okay, so this was a few years ago, and it's my children's great-grandfather, so it was my husband's grandfather, and he was very independent,
He wanted to do his own thing as well. And, the family had tried to advise and say, not obviously trying to make him feel bad that he's getting older, but trying to advise, you should try to drive less, let us help you, we'll get your groceries and all of that. But the one day he had gone out, he'd come home, the gate, he needed to get out and open it manually. He had left the handbrake down, and when he noticed the car rolling, he ran to the car, and the car landed up going over him, and his arm got quite badly injured. And only after all of that and that injury did he agree not to drive again, and my husband's uncle sold his car. So he had no car to drive, but that was the only way. He wouldn't have listened otherwise, but he got injured, and it's just, as you get older, obviously, it could be small things like forgetting to put the handbrake up. And, unfortunately, he got hurt, and only thereafter did he stop.
And you know what it is, when I carry, is that the roads aren't getting any less hectic. I mean, 20 years ago, we didn't have to deal with like 9,000 scooters on the road that are doing delivery.
Yeah.
Because of online shopping and home shopping, that's where the world is going, right? Now, Nana at 82 years old or Grandpa at 85 is having to deal with that and just the ever-changing, the demands of being alert on the road.
Yes, absolutely, yes. So it is a dangerous thing and it's a difficult topic, but it's definitely, we're just trying to protect them.
Yeah, dude, they're not going to listen here. And then they sulk and they don't talk to you. And then, I'm not coming to Christmas.
They're not taking away my freedom.
They're out of the world.
Who taught you how to drive? It was me.
Okay.
Nikki in Boxburg, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
We are great. Nikki, I love this because you work at a retirement village.
I do. I work in a retirement village and I see this problem over and over and over. And
what must we do? How do we broach it? Help us. You work with them.
With them.
Yeah.
There are people, Anele.
When they seem to get older and they chat with me about things, I always say to them, well, maybe, cut down on your trips and whatever the case might be. But there's some there that are in their 80s that drive like an hour's drive to their children.
And Nikki, have you seen them drive poorly? Have you been like, oh, Opa shouldn't be on the road here?
No, I see the way they walk and the memory and, they're getting older. So if they're walking all wrong and their memories are going, you shouldn't be driving. Yeah.
Because I've seen a few, like, when you stop at a traffic light, when there's an elderly person in front of you, when you can tell that they've probably tapped out and don't realize that it's time to move. It's age, right? So that you're forgetful, concentration is poor, and you go, this is not safe for you or any of us.
But it's like Nikki's saying, it's their independence. It's difficult for them to let go of it.
Yeah.
I think the law needs to step in because the law needs to protect us, guys, because our parents can fight us and our grandparents can fight us, but they can't fight the law. So the law must step in and say, after the age of 70, please, every 5 years, we need you back here to check things out.
Because next thing, it just jumped in front of me.
Well, it's just, I know 65 is young, but that's the retirement age. So if we said, okay, the retirement age is 65, therefore you have to go redo your license at 65 every 5 years.
But the thing is that you do get older people who are still sharp.
Yes, but that's an exception to the rule.
And they would still be on the road if they redid their license and the guy said, okay, you're still cool.
Your dad is still fine to drive. How old is your dad now?
70 this year.
Oh.
But long distance.
My mom's still fine to drive. She's 70.
But your mom's not driving to the Eastern Cape.
No, my mother goes far, hey? if Jesus was in the Eastern Cape, she
Mom
would drive.
947.
On the way, an oldie and a goodie. I think we played it before in Classic or Not, but I just felt like hearing it.
Okay.
I was like, when last did we hear this song? And then I asked the powers that be, and they said, you know what? Yes.
From which decade?
2000.
Okay.
Yeah, the 2000s. Those light, funky pop days.
Oh, nice.
Where everything was colorful as well in the music videos.
Okay.
Stand by for that. We're talking about how do we approach the topic with our grandparents, our parents as they age, about them stopping to drive. Because they're just becoming hazards on the road here, guys. I love them to bits. Love you, Nana. But at the age of 84 and a half, I think you shouldn't be driving yourself anymore.
Drive with them. That's what I'm saying. Drive with them. Don't drive them around once. Can I tell you, I was 16. At 16, I needed to get to school because I don't know, for some reason, the reason my mom couldn't take me, we lived with my gran. My gran had an old Ford Cortina.
The one you inherited.
The one I inherited.
Yeah.
A tank. That thing was a literal tank. I remember clearly sitting in the passenger seat up front because I wasn't old enough to drive. And with Nana, and she was going 80 in a 60 zone and veering onto the pavement. So I just grabbed the wheel, put it back in the road.
You see?
And then held it there for her, and then we drove further, and then it happened again. And I just put the wheel back in the road.
And how old was she then?
She must have been 85, 86 or something.
Just over a year ago, I had to have this conversation with my dad. He narrowly missed a Checker 6060 man, and his car was looking like a Willard's crinkle cut chip. So I had to tell him that he couldn't drive anymore, and it caused a family feud.
My grandfather was, I think, in his 80s when he was still driving, and he used to tell us that if he was driving on the road and the sun was in his eyes, he would just go on the other side of the road.
My mom lost the battle with my grandfather, who is inching towards 90, and we had to get in a mechanic to disable the car in order for it not to move.
You see?
This is serious.
Look, and I mean, I must say, in our age now, it is more helpful because Uber is around.
Yes.
Ride shares are around, right? So
Yeah.
you can say to your parents there are alternatives to driving. Back in the day, there were no alternatives, right?
And also, how do you go from them being your support structure and picking up the kids and doing groceries when you can't? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And then all of a sudden, you telling that support structure that they no longer allowed to drive. That's what they're going to use to tell you to get... but
get stuff.
Yeah, so now all of a sudden I can't drive. But for the past 20 years, I've been good enough
was
to drive
good enough.
to drive your kids around. Ave in Randburg, good morning.
Good morning, Anele and The Club. How are you guys?
We are scared a little of our parents, but this conversation has to happen. Talk to us, Ave.
Sure. My dad is 76 years old and he's driving to Cape Town. My parents are relocating this weekend.
So driving to Cape Town by himself?
Yes, my mom and my dad. My mom is 82 years old and my dad is 76.
And he's still sharp. You think he can just do this journey, no hassles?
I do believe he can. He's carrying a trailer. He's driving a manual. He is doing the Lord's work there.
Are they planning on stopping in Colesburg?
My mom wants to. My dad wants to go straight.
Never.
Ave.
I promise you.
Ave Maria.
I can barely do it straight.
Yeah.
Like, that's far.
Yeah.
It is very far. It's actually 1,600 to my brother's home in Tableview, and they're leaving all the way from Basonia.
Yeah.
So the furthest end of Johannesburg to the furthest end of Cape Town.
Well, technically, it's closer to Cape Town because it's south.
Okay, this
so
is
they're
true.
close to that side.
Oh, Ave, do you have right to make a few suggestions about this impending road trip?
I have. I've tried twice to tell them, let me come along with them, let me help them, let me drive for them. My dad is a single driver. He never allows anybody to touch his vehicles.
See, you have the exact struggle we're talking about.
I don't know how much budget you have, Ave, but here's what I would do. I would hire a car to follow them.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
But he will say no, even if I try to hire a private investigator to follow behind.
That's the point of the car. They should not know that the car is there, but it's just tailing them. And when they stop, and then your dad says, "Why are you following us?" Hi, guys. Cape Town is the same way. Eh?
Let me try. Let me give it a final.
Just tease,
let me give it a final go and see.
And let's just see.
Safety first.
And when he
man.
gets to Cape Town, is he going to retire the car, or is he going to become Cape Town's problem?
Cape Town problem for
Okay,
sure.
good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
No. Off they go.
Joburg driver in Cape Town.
Oh, man, they deserve it. Stan Bezedenote, he's the Transport Risk and Accident Specialist, founder of Independent Bureau of Forensic Investigation. Stan, You are qualified to weigh in on this conversation. Help us, please.
Anele, good morning, and good morning to the team.
Morning.
I'm afraid as much as I'd like to help you, I know exactly what people are going through because I've actually attended crashes where elderly people are involved, where they've lost consciousness, lost direction, got confused, etc. And the very sad truth is I always have the children coming to the scene and I hear the same conversation. Daddy, we've been telling you for months not to drive. Daddy this, Mommy that. Even one of my own neighbors have been involved in several crashes, and every time she phones me, Stanley, I know you do this. I need your help with the insurance and whatever. And the problem is we have three challenges. The first challenge is many, if not most elderly people get extremely stubborn, and that's because you are on the brink of robbing them of the last thing they've got left, independence. And that's what happens. They don't want to lose their independence. It's like a declaration of the end of their life. The second thing we keep in mind is we respect our parents. We find it very difficult and very uncomfortable to tell them what to do. And because they are your parents, as they get older, they try to maintain the dignity of that position. Even with my own mother before her passing, she was rather rude to me one day, and I said to Mommy, I said, I'm not going to even answer you. You're clearly, approaching the end of your life. One of these days you're not around, then I'm not going to sit with the things I said in response to an argument. I have no desire to win. So the unfortunate thing is what you need to look out for in your parents to see the risk coming are the following kinds of indicators.
Yes.
Yeah.
Times when they drive off route and you can't figure out why they went off route. So a tracker in their vehicle or on their cell phone is a good way to monitor and keep your eye on them.
Okay.
The second thing you want to look for is any indicator of stressed driving, such as driving extremely slowly. Or standing too long at intersections, or waiting for cars that are clearly very far away. These are all the early indicators of cognitive decline. The next thing you want to look for is if they start making excuses to drive, if they want to drive more, then you know that they're trying to convince themselves that they're still good drivers.
For it. Yeah.
And then the last thing you're going to look for is near misses and mishaps. You just explained this exact thing. My granny went onto the sidewalk. My grandfather used to drive on the other side of the road or whatever. When you see those early indicators of near misses, even with my major transport clients, I constantly tell them, when you appoint me in a major crash where 10 or 15 or 20 people have died and when there's huge spills, etc., that's not when you need my intelligence, my knowledge, or my skills or experience. You need it with those near misses where nothing actually happened, but it could have been disastrous. Because if you don't detect how often that happens, you don't know how close to disaster you already are. And this is what I can say to people. Monitor your parents. There's only one way to approach this. Rip off the Band-Aid. Dad, we're worried about you. We think you're too old to drive. We're going to have to do something, and we don't want to argue with you about it. If that already turns into an argument, you've got an uphill battle. If your father or mother or grandfather or grandmother is of the kind that will say, let's discuss it. Why do you say that? It's challenging. It's like it's no
But it's
worse.
it's got to happen,
difficult.
Stan. It's
But
got
you
to
know
happen.
what, Stan?
Yeah.
You hit the nail on the head in the beginning, and really thank you so much for chatting to us. It is the last frontier of independence.
Yeah.
That is the last thing that gives them agency. And as soon as you take that away, you're basically saying, it's okay, now we're just waiting for you to die, right? And I think if we can approach it like that, where you're kind of balancing it, where you're taking one thing away, but you're giving them something else, giving them like another kind of responsibility, another thing that you want them to look out for within the family structures and the household. You can kind of soften the blow of saying, Mom, Dad, we love you, we're worried about you, but you really are not allowed to drive any longer. Stan Bezadino, Transport Risk and Accident Specialist, also the founder of Independent Bureau of Forensic Investigation. So Stan, quickly, if you think your husband's having an affair, do I call you? You the one who...
FBI.
You the guy?
Sadly, yes.
Okay, Stan, okay.
Sadly.
I'm never going to have to call you, but somebody else might have to. Bye.
947
Speaking of being the one, yesterday Thembekile was the one. Won himself 1,000 rand because he cracked the sound of the city. We had to bring a brand new sound.
That's
Renew,
right.
refresh, reloaded. Let's go. Thembekile in Soweto, good morning.
Sure. I think the sound of the city is a drill because the way it sounded.
A drill, ne? Thembekile.
No way. Off the bat,
I'm correct.
Yes!
I'm correct.
Yes! You won 1,000 rand!
1,000 at least, it's something. Thank you so much, guys.
Hey, Thembekile!
So you will call me back?
Of course, we're going to call you. We're going to get your details so we can put the money in your account.
God bless you, okay?
Oh.
Cheers, have a nice day.
Yeah, thank you. Guys, he just left us. Sharp, cheers.
He's
Thanks,
like,
have a
bye
nice
guys,
day."
you'll call me, hey? I gotta go.
It's the sound that makes you win. On 947.
Back to 1,000 rand this morning with a brand new sound. Remember, you send the keyword sound to 0614947947.
Morning. The sound of the city is a roller door opening or closing.
Definitely has to be a sewing machine.
The sound of today is that machine that you always getting at ShopRite or the other retailers that are selling the bread. It's used to cut the bread.
Is a roller gate. Sound of the city is a sewing machine.
It's a steel trolley going over stones.
Those bread cutting machines.
I think the sound is like a printer or a photocopying machine that's busy printing papers.
Great guesses, though.
Great
that
guesses.
roller door.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go to Krugersdorp. Errol Dean, good morning.
Yes, morning, Anele. How are you?
We are great, Errol Dean. Your guess shows me what you do all day, hey?
Yes.
What's your guess?
I think it's a washing machine on a spinning cycle.
Yeah, that's a good guess.
That's a really good guess, actually. Oh, I'm so sad it's wrong. Sorry, Errol Dean.
No problem. Next time. Thank you.
Cheers from Krugersdorp to Eldorado Park. Eldus, hello there, Nosihle.
Hi, Anele and the team.
Hey, guys. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
We're great. So, Errol Dean got it wrong, but that means you might get it right. What's your guess?
I think it's a jackhammer.
Yes, I can hear it.
Is it a jackhammer? No.
You and me together, babe.
From Eldorado Park to Four Ways. Sims, good morning.
Good morning, Anele. How are you?
We're great, Sims. How are you?
No, I'm great. I'm great.
Sims, what do you do for a living?
What do I do for a living?
Mm-mm.
I'm running my small digital marketing company.
A digital marketing company.
I thought you said gentleman marketing company.
Wow.
I
mean, there is a market. In 4 ways, sure.
No, I'm just wondering why you would know the sound of this guess that you're giving.
Come again?
No, the reason I asked you what you do for a living is because your guess is what?
Oh, I'm correct.
No. Tell us what you get. Tell us what it is first.
Does it?
What's your guess, Sims?
Oh, my guess. It's a money counter machine.
Money counter machine.
Oh, that one that goes.
I can hear it.
Can you see?
I didn't.
Sorry.
I didn't get it.
No.
It's wrong. Oh.
But thank you
okay,
for
next
putting
time.
all of us in a good mood, because anytime somebody speaks about counting money, you've got me.
No way.
Thank you, Sims. Okay, so all of the guesses are wrong. Can I go around the room? Does anybody else want to throw in their guess?
Was that last guess close? Because it does sound like a little bit like an ATM.
It sounds like a machine is running away.
Like little feet.
Yeah, like something moving. I still think it's a conveyor belt.
Really?
Yeah, some kind of a conveyor belt.
So like at a factory and
Take a lot, you know that take a lot conveyor belt when it comes down.
Sorry.
You know that take a lot conveyor belt. You know the one at Big Bird where it's got the.
And also our producer goes to Big Bird quite a lot because he's always ordering things on Take a Lot.
Always.
Is this happiness delivered?
No.
Sorry.
Something from a bowling alley.
Why are they keep looking at each other like we're close?
Am I close?
They're just being trolls.
They're doing that so that you can think that you have a chance.
Doesn't matter. Radio shows never needed producers anyway.
Wow.
Hello, AI.
0614947947. You WhatsApp us the word sound and your guess of what you think this is. You have got 24 hours. We'll chat then to see if your guesses are correct. 2,000 rand. 2,000 rand. 8:24 on the clock. Before we say goodbye and hand over to Mo at 9 o'clock, Thembekile will give us his classic or not. Right now, he is sitting on a song that is 10 years and older. And you have got the power to let him know whether you think that his tastes belong in the Hall of Classics or not.
Right.
So make sure you stick around for that. Right now, let's get to know you a little better. Getting to know us a little better. You know, we're all one big happy family. Anele and The Club.
You, knowing me.
Oh, Jamali, stop it. Let's say you had to move in with one of the Anele and The Club members for a week. Who would it be and why?
Anele, Frankie, Cindy, Thembekile. Who do you think would be a good housemate for a week?
So if you're like a major sports fan, right, then obviously you're going with Cindy because that's all Cindy does. She's cooking, she's watching sport. She's knitting, she's watching sport.
TV doesn't know anything except super sport.
You see, so if you live in a household right now where they're like, oh, you're always watching sport, whatever, I'm going to go live with Cindy because Cindy does not mind that I want to watch sport the whole time. Or maybe you are into your news. You want to know what is... Like, for instance, if my fiancé had to move in with any of us now, he'd pick Thembekile. Because Baza just... All the TVs are news channels.
Good man. See why you're marrying him.
But I have a question. Is your TV on the news channel all the time? Because you are so... you see so much news every day. Do you come home and watch the news?
Yes. Almost, not all the time, but almost all the time.
Huh.
He takes a break to watch Inimba because his mom is going to quiz him on Inimba.
Oh, goodness, yes. I have to know. I have to be up to date.
You know, on the happenings of Zolega Pikicha and her family, right? But then he goes back Al Jazeera, CNN, Sky, BBC, ENCA, Newsroom, SABC News. That's him.
Are you... so just... You're on your couch with chicken licken on top of you watching BBC.
Because reality is far more absurd than fiction. The stuff you see, you go, oh, not even Sipho Dinimba could script this.
See now.
Okay.
011-8838-947. You're picking between Thembekile, Frankie, Cindy, Anele. You're staying with us for 1 week. You're a visitor in our houses.
You're coming to Gauteng for the first time. You just got to hang somewhere for a week.
Who are you picking? Or you're painting your house and you guys have to be out of there for a week.
Right.
And you have to shack up somewhere.
Okay.
And we say, hey, one of us will take you. Who do you want to go with?
And why?
084-0000-947. Send us a voice note as well. We are keen as houses. The houses that you will stay in when you visit us.
Yeah.
We're keen as houses to hear who you would stay with.
Chat to Anele and The Club.
Miss me when you're gone. He is currently spiraling in a good way because Meghan Trainor liked 2 of his posts on Instagram.
Never.
He's like, no ways. Is this me? Is this my life? Is this Will Lindley that has been liked by Meghan Trainor? So let's see what happens there. Imagine a Meghan Trainor and Will Lindley song.
Oh, he's got to jump on a tour with her.
Imagine that. Will Lindley on 947. Friends of Anele and The Club. That was Miss Me. So let's say, Lord forbid, or maybe, lucky happens, and something is happening in your life and you need a place to stay for a week.
Right.
We as Anele and The Club say, you know what? One of us can
take you in.
Can take you in. Now we say to you, but we all stand in front of you and we look at you and we say, pick one of us.
Who do you want to go to and why? That's the question.
I think it would not be Anele because I think it would be party all the time and functions and all that. And yeah, it would be a little bit too much. It would be Frankie. I think he'd be very funny to live with. That would be so cool.
I'd definitely move in with Anele for the food because, those meatballs yesterday, my girl, those chicken meatballs, scrum delish.
I'd definitely move in with Cindy and she'll wake me up with a good morning. So I would definitely choose
Thembekile because I love news and I love me some KFC, guys. I could eat KFC like the whole day.
Out of the whole team, I feel like Thembekile and I could get along quite well. He seems to be a very neat person. He's one of those people that likes to have things in a place and a place for everything.
Oh, Thembekile is going to be side-eyeing the guest the entire time.
I check up with Frankie, so every time he eats a pie in the toilet, I could beat him with a stick.
That's not how I thought that was gonna end. It sounded like a man who likes a random brandy and coke,
Yes.
right? As for the person who's like, I've always got parties. This coming Sunday, I've got a viewing party, F1 viewing party at my house. So,
well, I mean, that's the point. So if you're into fun, you always got people around.
you know what I'm saying? Sharon, you're in Germiston. Let's say for a week you need a place to stay, and we offer as Anele and The Club. Who are you gonna stay with?
Morning, Anele and The Club.
Morning, Shaz.
I'll choose Frankie.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going with Frankie because whenever I get a chance to listen to you guys, especially when I'm driving to work, he will throw in some braai there and some games in there, tennis and all of that. So I think I'll have fun in terms of being with him for a week because there will be activities that will be going on. So news, they depresses me, so I don't like news. Thembekile is fine as well. He's very funny. Anele, you are a party person, so I'm very shy. So
Sharon,
partying won't work.
I must tell you that my per year capita of lamb chops has gone up since I did the show with Frankie. The amount of lamb chops I've eaten in the last 8 years.
Because it's the best thing to braai, Sharon. Let me tell you right now, if you moved in with me for a week, all right, this would be our schedule. We would clock 2 braais at the very least.
Yeah.
One midweek. We'd try and make it a little bit healthy in the midweek one, right? Not too much fatty. But then on the weekend, we'll definitely have a braai. It's going to have lamb chops. It's going to have some wors. I've got some great game wors at the moment.
Pap.
Some wors. We'll have some pap in there. We have to, if we do wors, we have to either do ribs or we have to do a steak. So it'll include all of that.
Let me tell you, that's why I chose you, because I also love braai. Like, if there's anything that has to do in my house, we used to have like a braai Friday. They know, and they delegated me for that department.
That's it.
The salads, the chakalaka, with the pap.
I can smell it.
So
I can
Frankie, you are
smell
my guy.
it, guys.
Sharon, actually, this was a hypothetical conversation. I'll see you on Friday. I'll see you on Friday afternoon, 5 o'clock.
Bring the potato salad. Bring the potato salad. From Germiston, let's pop into Four Ways again. Crystal, good morning. Welcome to Anele and The Club.
Good morning, Anele and The Club. First time on the radio.
First time on the radio. Welcome home. Welcome home. So,
Thank you.
Crystal, talk to us. You have to move in with one of us. Who are you picking?
Typically you, Anele.
Why?
Wow. I'm a PA by profession. Your life fascinates me. I want to be your PA and tag along to all the lovely events that you go to and definitely climb into your wardrobe.
Oh, yes, because I do have extra wardrobe. So you
Extra wardrobe
Yes.
is an understatement. It's an understatement, Crystal.
Can I tell, Crystal, what size are you? Because maybe you and I can dress there. What size are you, Crystal?
I'm like a 38.
Perfect.
Everything gonna fit.
I live between 38 and 40. So
Okay.
you are,
perfect.
dude, right? I promise you now. I went to Kenya and I came back, and then the clothes from Kenya, the nanny at the house, she washed them and she just put them back in the bag because she was like, we have no room.
We got no space. That's her way of saying clear out some space,
Exactly.
madam, before you put these things in
She
there.
just packed it back and she's like, ready for your next trip, ma'am. Because this household is not going to house these clothes. The people who should report for duty right now is Frankie, Thembekile, Cindy, myself, Anele, Mo Flavor, who's going to decide whether he thinks it's a classic or not, and then you.
Yeah.
You are about to tell us on 084 00947 whether you think that Thembekile's song should be inducted into the Hall of Classics and classic or not.
It may have been a hit way back when,
We bring it back.
but is it a classic now
Classic
or not?
Anele and The Club on 947.
947.
Title track from an album released in 1995.
Oh.
It debuted at number 6 on the US Billboard Top R&B Albums chart.
Tony Braxton.
This is a man.
Babyface.
No, he's slightly younger than Babyface.
1996.
Yes.
Someone to love. John B.
No.
More famous
Passed
than
away
that.
yesterday.
D'Angelo.
Oh, D'Angelo.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Is it Cruising or How Does It Feel?
No, not one of those.
I'm not well versed in the D'Angelos.
No, when I picked the song, I figured none of you in the room would like it, but I figured,
None of you.
to mark the occasion of his passing at 51 yesterday.
Very young, eh?
He was 51. He'd been apparently dealing with cancer.
Pancreatic cancer.
Shame.
And his baby mother of his child, was Angie Stone.
Who also died earlier this year.
Also that. So can you imagine that child?
Sure.
Both parents 1 year.
That's terrible.
Oh.
Anyway, Brown Sugar.
Brown sugar, babe.
There we go.
Ooh.
I love
my
how
word.
she perked up so quickly. Not well versed in D'Angelo's catalog. Oh, Brown Sugar,
Brown
babe.
sugar, babe. I actually thought you were going to play Cruising, because that's a tune. But I mean, we're here now. 084. I know exactly who's going to be voting.
Oh, I know my audience.
This song. Your Rifule Mokgase, he was the head of the Summers at a point. He is coming in hot.
If I keep this up, I might be on the judging panel next year.
Totally, babe. Totally. They might invite you to Gregory Porter when he's here later this year. 084 0000 947. Do you think D'Angelo's Brown Sugar is a classic or not? Woo, I can smell the Mr. Min. Feels like it's Sunday and I should be cleaning. This is D'Angelo's Brown Sugar. I like this song. I'm not going to give it a classic. I just think it's got better songs. But the thing is, if it had to come up in my my Spotify, whatever, I wouldn't skip it because it doesn't offend me. But I wouldn't wake up and go to it.
In our moment of grief, they turn
Sorry,
again.
and this is the thing. Typically, make it very difficult for us to say not a classic to somebody who passed away yesterday. It's not a classic.
This song would never come up on my Spotify.
I wonder why.
I don't think I've ever heard this song. No.
Brown Sugar. Was this on the soundtrack for Brown Sugar?
It might have been.
With Sanaya Latham and Tay Diggs?
It might. Wait, now I can't check because our internet is down.
Okay, whilst you check, Cindy?
Yeah, no, I've never heard the song in my life.
We weren't fully integrated when this came out.
But we just won the Springboks.
One thing at a time, darling.
Okay, fine. I hear you. Johannesburg, what do you think?
Tempe, my darling. No, you could do better.
I think it's a classic. Oh, baby, you don't need to tell me twice. Brown Sugar is definitely a classic.
Thembekile, that song is my favorite. Woo-hoo.
Nice song, Thembi, but not a classic.
I hear you.
Thembekile, this is definitely a classic.
It's okay, guys. There's other ways to pay homage to D'Angelo than to say his song is a classic.
And what might those be?
Pull out that You Magazine poster.
Yes. Typically, you're
Well, and
telling us
thank
that
yourself in his honor.
he didn't like the fact that he was made to be a sex symbol when he
Yes.
recorded an entire 3 minutes and 48 seconds of a video where he was naked.
So D'Angelo, Frankie, and Cindy, let me pull you in.
Yeah.
Hot Man came out in the mid-90s. They had that man topless throughout like his
whole
prime.
career, yeah.
Yes, and he was hot. But years later, he started talking about how it contributed to his issues with body image. He also had an addiction problem, and he says a lot of it was fueled by the expectations of being a sex symbol, because then you have to be perfect throughout.
It's wild to me that a man would come out and say, because I mean the Britney Spears and the Christina Aguileras have spoken out about this all the time, and you know it just fell on deaf ears. So when a man says it, I'm pretty shocked that he said that, and I'm glad that he did actually.
I suppose also the problem becomes when your image becomes a bigger deal than what you want to do.
Yeah.
Which
Because
is
his
to
music is
sing,
great.
Yes.
You know?
And even when you listen to his music, it wasn't, I mean, there were sexy tunes, but it wasn't
Raunchy.
overtly
I hear
sexual.
you.
But also you grow up. So the problem is 10 years down the line, now we all want Justin Timberlake from when he was 20,
Yes.
but he's now 30. You get what I'm saying? Like it's like
And then you
grow up.
still have him in that
Yeah,
mold.
in that mold, you know?
Do you think Mo Flavor's gonna give it to you?
Never.
I'm on the fence.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's gonna say yes.
Who doesn't mind being called Brown Sugar, huh? This is a classic, solid, smooth, beautiful. Like it, I like it.
Solid. Smooth. Mo, let us know what's happening on the show between 9 and 12.
On the show today, job interviews, everybody's got a story to tell. And there's certain things that, you can't handle during a job interview. There's certain things that probably throw you off during job interviews. So we're going to dive into this. And the reality is there's no master when it comes to job interviews, is there? Yeah. So let's hang out at 9.
Have anybody here ever been to a job interview?
11 years ago.
Yeah.
When I came to work here, yes.
Okay.
I was 21 and chatty. I can't tell you what I said, but all I remember is that they liked the fact that I wouldn't stop talking. And by the way, Frankie, the fact that I watched news non-stop helped me get the job.
Well, I mean, as a news anchor, it makes sense, yeah.
You?
Not really a job interview, but I remember before I joined Anele and The Club, I had coffee with Ravi.
Oh, we wanted to see where you at.
Yeah. He always used to say, come to the news cafe and have a coffee and let's chat.
And then we were sitting on the balcony watching you guys have a meeting. Like, is that the new guy? Is that the new guy? Is that the new guy?
I don't remember. I've always gone for auditions.
Yes.
But not actually a job interview, because I remember even at Supersport, it was an audition and then it was followed up by a one-on-one in the office and that kind of thing, but not an interview, no. So I can't really comment.
Our industry, job interviews work, differently. Also because people can already see what you're doing elsewhere.
Yes.
That's why they call you. But what I have been told around the normal run-of-the-mill job interviews is you must always have a question for them about their company at the end.
And I saw a video, actually, interestingly, last week online where a job, whatever type coach was saying, one of the things you shouldn't do is accept the offer on the spot. She was saying, always take it home, read it and think about it. And she was saying, even for a salary, if you have a figure in mind, have a clear figure, don't go, how much higher can you guys go?
Between 50 and 60, just say 65, and if that's what they can't give you, then off you go. Okay. Yeah, but guys, I mean, there's certain jobs where they're like, hey, this is the job. I'm like, when can I start?
You say hi, and they go, do you want? Yes.
Yes.
Before we've even
Do you know
spoken
what I'm
anything.
saying?
Yeah.
So, but like I say, with us, it's different. We can't really weigh in on this.
It's like a relationship. Don't look too eager.
That's what they say.
Treat them mean, keep them keen.
They do say that.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
you can't be too eager. It's such a fine balance, interviews. Everyone I've spoken to have gone for job interviews. It's like you can't be too eager. You've got to dress nice, but not too nice. You've got to smile, but not too often. It's
No,
I think it's very tricky.
No, guys, my selling point is how eager I am. I'm just like, let's go. What do you guys want to do? What do we want to do?
I always say, it's missing a 0, whatever the offer.
Did you really say that? Yeah, because it's still missing a 0.
It's missing 3 zeros.
Anele
and The Club
on 947.